of the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. If you missed any of the program, remember you can go to the InfoWarrior.com and grab the podcast. I usually post it over on my Facebook, Facebook.com/the InfoWarrior. I'm going to take a couple calls. But again, I want to emphasize that the NSA is openly talking about how they developed Windows 7 with Microsoft. I've got another headline here that Google is just about ready to launch their operating system as well. It's right here. And their operating system supposedly is going to load a computer in under 7 seconds, less time than it takes to turn on a television. And this operating system, they act like they're going to be competing with one another. In actuality, they both work with the National Security Agency, and Google is really even giving them a bigger push because everything is going to be a web-based program, putting everything you do on the internet or on, say, like if you're going to run like a Word-type program, you're going to run that Word-type program on the internet. It'll be saved on an internet server, cutting out the middleman. You see, with something like Windows, you actually have to visit the website or they would be illegally taking your information from Excel or Microsoft Word and then posting it. But if you're on Google and every program is web-based, it's already on the web. And with their national security lies, remember Eric Holder just came out a few weeks ago and said, look, these lawsuits need to stop because we are tracking, tracing, and databasing everything everybody does on the internet or your cell phone. Hepting versus AT&T. Hepting versus AT&T. Hepting versus AT&T. I'm going to be playing a PBS clip in my film Invisible Empire based on this. We are back live, folks. Just a stack of news. We're going to get to the callers in just a minute. 888-201-2244 or 512-646-1776. And if you just want to leave a 90-second rant, we do play rants on the air. That line is 512-646-4444. Obama accused of doing favors for ally. Now, we kind of touched upon this a few months ago, but Kevin Johnson, who was a former NBA superstar out of the Phoenix Suns, got caught in some compromising situations with some ladies. But because, and he's now a mayor out of Sacramento, but because he was promoting Obama's agenda for the Give Act and AmeriCorps and City Year, he has been highly promoted by the president, and they actually fired the person who was doing an investigation into Kevin Johnson and his antics. The investigation found evidence that D.C. schools chief Michelle Ray handled damage control after allegations surfaced of sexual misconduct against Johnson, her now fiance. So this woman who's also in love with him has done the damage control and said, oh, no, my hubby-to-be would never touch the young ladies like that. The probe was launched after an AmeriCorps Inspector General, Gerald Walpin, was abruptly fired in June by White House lawyer Norm Eisen. He was pursuing allegations that Johnson misused some $800,000. I could use some 800 G's. How about you? You want some 800 G's, Ryan? We'll take it. We'll take the 800 G's. We won't misuse it. 800 G's of federal AmeriCorps money provided to St. Hope Academy. AmeriCorps paid volunteers who ran personal errands for Johnson, washed his car, and engaged in political activities to support the mayor. The attorney for the area, Lawrence Brown, a Bush appointee, did not pursue charges against Johnson. In one particularly incendiary passage in the report, one of the girls who had accused Johnson of inappropriately touching her told federal agents that she was offered to be paid $1,000 a month to keep quiet. That's 52 G's a year to shut her mouth. So again, if you're a superstar of the NBA and you support Barack Obama's, whether it be his national health care plan, whether it be the indoctrination of the youth, whether it be his, global warming cap and trade scheme, he protects his own, folks. The report accuses White House counsel office of withholding information from Congress and misleading investigators after Grassley and Issa question Obama's methods and motives for removing Walpin. Remember, Walpin got removed because he started investigating these allegations. Wanted to cover this one. Cop tases 10-year-old girl. It couldn't get any worse, or could it? Oh, no. We have the document, the actual police report, where the mother requested that her daughter be tased by the police officer. A 10-year-old girl. I don't care if you're telling me that a 10-year-old girl is kicking and screaming and crying and won't put the cuffs on. Pick her up. Put her in the cop car. Put the cuffs on her. Don't tase her, even if her lunatic mother says it's okay. And what I'm holding right here is the actual police report. Let me read some of the excerpts. Her mother told me to tase her if I needed to, and at this point, we carried her to the shower. She refused to follow any of her mother's instructions, and then it was agreed that she was going to go to jail. The subject was actively resisting arrest at this time. I was having a difficult time placing cuffs on her and administered a very, very brief drive stun to her back with my taser. He tased a 10-year-old girl with her mother's permission. How morally bankrupt is this society, folks, when we're saying it's okay to tase 10-year-olds. I don't care if she's problem child squared. She does not need to be tasered by a grown man. And talk about the moral degradation of society. This one's really ironic. Gang killed victims to extract their fat. It's like something out of Fight Club. But these Peruvian gangs were kidnapping and killing people. And what were they using their fat for? It's pretty gruesome. I mean, they were hanging them up. They were having the heat come down and the fat drip down. Oh, they were using it for expensive facial products for Europeans. That's right, beauty products. And they were paying top dollar. Are you ready for this? 2 of the suspects were arrested at a bus station in the capital, Lima, carrying bottles of liquid fat, which they claimed were worth up to 36,000 pounds a gallon. That's like 50 G's for a gallon of milk, only it's human fat. For the equivalent of what you pour into your breakfast cereal, 50 G's, at least 36,000. It's not quite 2 to 1. It'd probably be about $50,000 for a tub of fat. And they're not getting it the nice way. They're not getting it the Fight Club way where they go to liposuction clinics, folks. No, they're getting it from human beings they murder, probably after they take their organs and distribute those around.